Today, we are going into something that is huge. Today, we are going into something that is super special. Day 3, different shorting strategies. You guys ready for this? Different ways that you guys are going to want to pull the trigger, different ways that you guys are going to want to make this money, different ideas that you guys can do every single day to be able to come out on top. So, shorting strategies. The first one that we are going to start off with is the fan favorite, is something that I've already taught you guys, but what it comes on down to is looking for those upper shadows. This is something that we have seen works multiple times just within the last 3 days. In the last 3 days, you have seen so many different examples of every single time that we form an upper shadow, it is going to be the indication that we are starting to fade on off. The easiest way that I always like to think about this is we know that when we see an upper shadow, it is when we are at the top of the mountain. If we climb the mountain to the very tippity top, when we get up here, we usually put a flag at the top, letting everyone know in the future that we have climbed this mountain, we have conquered this mountain. And then guess what we do? We head back down the opposite side. We head on down the mountain. And that is a great way to know that we have now reached that top. We are seeing those big upper shadows. It's almost like we have reached the peak. We have reached the summit, and now it's time to head back on down. Really, what upper shadows mean though, is upper shadows mean that traders tried to push the play up towards a new level and traders got exhausted. There was a lack of buyers, a lack of potential to be able to spike on up, and sellers moved in. Buyers said, okay, I'm done here. And that is always one of the best indicators to know that we're going to reverse on down. Upper shadows show weakness. When a stock spikes and can't hold its gains, it makes buyers believe the stock is now weak, which means more selling, which means we can jump in on shorts. Long upper shadows indicate a reversal. So what we're always looking for is looking for these upper shadows right here. We look for strong trends, upper shadow, and that's going to lead towards that reversal to the downside. Strong trend, upper shadow leads the reversal to the downside. Strong trend, upper shadow leads the reversal on the downside. So let's take a look at today and let's see what we can do on this day. So today, when I take a look over on AWIN, let's just go back to a 2 or 3 minute time frame, doesn't matter. Okay, AWIN, you guys tell me, if I shorted when I saw a big upper shadow, would I have been successful? If I shorted the #1 top gainer when I saw an upper shadow right here, would I have made money? The answer is yes. If I shorted when I saw the big upper shadow form at the top of the mountain right here, would I have made money? The answer is yes. We also know that this morning we also had EDBL today. Look at EDBL. EDBL, if I shorted when I saw the top upper shadow right here, would I have been able to make money? Yes. Now this will not always happen every single day, right? AWIN is a really awesome example right here happening on this day, but you can see how these upper shadows indicate that we are coming up towards the top and that there's a great chance that a reversal is going to be coming in the near future. Now remember team, you can also realize this and see this over on daily charts, right? Let's go over to AWIN here and just take a look over on the daily chart here. Whenever you see an upper shadow, guess what happens over the next few days, next few weeks, next month? It drops on off. Upper shadow, next few days, weeks, months, starts dropping on off. We can see it happen all the time. LIDR, big upper shadow, fades on off, right? FFIE, this one is starting to get a nice upper shadow, but it's just so tiny right here. Let's go to another one. RELI, big upper shadow right here. Guess what happens? It fades on off. Upper shadow shows that we have reached the top. We have reached the peak, and now it's going to be multiple days, weeks, months, whatever it may be, of fading and falling and dropping. So could you again come up to me right now and say, Deck, are you telling me that this whole entire time I have been trying to buy stocks to go on big time breakouts, and literally I could just wait for a spike, I literally could just wait for an upper shadow, and then I could just short it and just be able to say, okay, this is probably going to fall back on down? Yeah, guys, that's what happens here, okay? We see this happen nearly every single day, that these upper shadows are going to lead towards these reversals, these drops, this weakness, and we can start seeing more fading and falling and dropping. So that is a beautiful way to be able to trade. Let's go over to our next strategy. Our next strategy is going to be shorting previous top gainers. Look for stocks that have spiked, that have over a 90 on the RSI. You guys remember this. Yesterday, I taught you the best indicators for shorting. We went over the MACD, we went over the RSI. Both of them are going to be great for indications on when to go ahead and pull the trigger on the short side. Look for stocks that have spiked for 3 days in a row or more, and look for stocks that have a large overextended move. So traders, we already know the facts. We have already broken down the facts. And the facts are that nearly 90% of these companies are going to fail. When we're looking at stocks that are $25 and under, these are companies that are not successful. These are companies that are struggling. These are companies that are putting their company on the stock market saying, please invest your money into us. People again be like, oh, why don't you go short NVDA? Why don't you go short Tesla? Because those are good companies. I don't short NVDA. I don't short Tesla. I don't short the S&P 500. Guess what I do? I short penny stocks, the companies that are going to fail. When we see stocks have very big spikes and very big breakouts and very big moves and very big rips and runs, these are the ones that are going to end up coming crashing all the way back on down. So it's always great that every single night, what you guys can do is go ahead ahead and type out all of the top gainers on the day, right? So you guys can do this. And I bet you a lot of these top gainers that we're seeing at this moment right now are going to be top losers tomorrow, such as AWIN or SINT or SLNA or LIDR or FFIE, right? These are going to be top gainers that could easily come crashing back on down. So let me go over to my Twitter from yesterday, because I always post all the top gainers every single day. And what is today? Today is May 15th. So let's go over to right here, guys. This was all the top gainers on the day yesterday in pre-market. GME, SPWR, AMC, Plug, HOLO, KOSS. Let's look at these top gainers from yesterday and let's see how well they held on up. Okay, let's do it together. So let's go back over to a little bit of a larger time frame, 10-minute time frame, and let's take a look. If I shorted yesterday, or again the top gainers, would I have been able to make money? Let's see here. GME right here, guys. Look at this. GME top gainer yesterday, big drop. Look what it's doing right now. Big drop, right? Okay, so that would have been money. Okay, cool. Let's go over to SPWR. SPWR, this one, big time spike yesterday. Guess what? Top gainer yesterday. This stock fell on off. Guess what it's doing right now? It's falling on off. Okay, so we're 2 for 2 so far. Take a look at AMC. AMC top gainer yesterday, shorted it. Guess what? Short a previous top gainer. Okay, 3 for 3 so far. Let's go over to PLUG. PLUG right here. PLUG was a top gainer yesterday for a little bit. Let's see where we're at this moment. PLUG top gainer yesterday, came crashing on down. Guess what? This one came crashing on down. Beautiful. Okay, 4 for 4. Doesn't matter what stock you picked, you would have made money. HOLO top gainer yesterday, fell on here. Again, guess what happened? It's falling on here. 5 for 5. Okay, awesome. KOSS right now. KOSS top gainer yesterday, shorted it today. Guess what? 6 for 6. It doesn't matter what play you pick. You can make money on these plays. Team, previous top gainers. Remember, we are not shorting Tesla. We are not shorting Google. We are shorting garbage. We make just as much money as we do on the upside than the downside. So why are we not putting the odds in our favor and just absolutely crushing it? So that is what is so great. That is what's so awesome. That is what's so amazing right here. So I want to make sure every single trader understands this. I want to make sure every single trader is on top of this, that these previous day top gainers are plays that are only based off hype, are only based off momentum, are only based off social media, that are all now going to be coming cracking back on down. Let's go into the next strategy. The next strategy is shorting pre-market top gainers. So we have stocks that spike that have upper shadows. Now we have stocks that spike that are going to be dumping on down today, previous top gainers. And now we have stocks that are shorting pre-market top gainers. So I typed out this, guys. This is hands down one of the most profitable and consistent ways to make money shorting. This is a very simple and easy way to trade, probably an 85% win rate. And what this is, guys, is it's my most profitable trading strategy. Stocks that are top gainers in pre-market have already made their move. The majority of top gainers in pre-market will fall, especially ones without news. Stocks that are up over 200% are easy short candidates, as there always be profit taking. So I want to show you guys some examples of this. The majority of plays that you see have big top gainers are just going to come crashing right back on down. Take a look at this chart right here. This chart shows us that right here, any stock that has a big gap up overnight, it has a quick morning spike and it comes crashing on down and then falls for 4 months. Then we have a big stock that has a gap up, has a quick morning spike, then again it comes crashing on down, falls for an entire month. Then a stock again has a big gap up, guess what? It has a little morning spike, then it falls all the way back on down. Right? It's like so easy. Now again, take a look right here. SLDB, big time gap up, guess what happens? It falls and continues to fall and fade and fade. You guys can see right here, again, big time gap up, guess what happens? Morning spikes and then it falls all the way back on down. Take a look right here over on SNOA. SNOA, again, morning spike, big upper shadow, and then it falls to the next 2 months. Then we have a big gap up, a little spike, then it falls to the next 4 months. Then we have again a big gap up, then we have a spike, then it falls and continues to be a bad company. So this is what I'm trying to get through your head. This is what I'm trying to get through your mind right here, traders. Let's take a look at today. Take a look at FFIE. If I shorted this stock this morning, would I have been able to make money? Go back to a 2-minute time frame. Stock again was the top gainer in pre-market, opened up at 60 cents, fell all the way down to 40 cents, right? FFIE, you can see it just right here. Take a look over on this chart. It had a big gap up. Guess what happened? It's now coming all the way back on down, right? So a lot of these plays have big gap ups and then end up ultimately always in the red. The bigger the gap up, the better chance it has of crashing. Right now, we don't have any big gap ups. FFIE was like the only big gap up. You know, if we take a look at AWIN, there wasn't really a big gap up. You can see that, right? No big gap up. LIDR, there's not really a big gap up. So the bigger the gap up, the better chance you have of seeing a big time dump. For instance, take a look at GameStop. GameStop, massive gap up. Take a look. It's been falling for the last 2 days now. Okay. So that is going to be absolutely huge and so crucial for you guys to be able to understand. So let's break this on down one more time here, traders. I just want to go over this from start to finish. 3 different ways that you guys can be able to make money shorting plays. 3 different easy ways that you guys can make money shorting. And this is what I use to be able to make over $500,000 when I trade. I wait for upper shadows to form. If again, I'm waiting for an upper shadow, it's just by waiting for that nice spike and be able to know that we're going to be able to get it. We can short previous top gainers because all these plays are again garbage. So all these companies are going to most likely fade and fall as the hype fades on off. And then we're also going to be shorting pre-market top gainers. The bigger the gap up in the morning, the better better chance we have of basically just having quick morning hype, and then everyone loses focus and everyone starts falling and everyone starts fading and everything starts dropping on off even more. Okay, so that is going to be another way for you guys to be successful in the stock market.